I'm Kylie of Kylie M Interiors, paint color expert, blogger, and e-design consultant. Today we're looking at Sherwin Williams Mega Greige. As you can see, Mega Greige is a neutral paint color. Now every paint color has an LRV, and this is a number that lets you know how light or dark it is on a scale of 0, which is black, to 100, which is white. Mega Greige has an LRV of 37. This means it's a medium depth paint color. Now some medium depths, because it's a range, some medium depths can be heavier, a little bit weighing a room down. Mega Greige tends to not do that because it sits on the higher end of the range. So if you have a super bright room and every color washes out, this is a great place to start. You could even go a bit lighter, but again, if you want your walls to really show some body and some depth to them in a bright room, Mega Greige would do the trick. Now, if you have north-facing light, you might see Mega Greige lean a little bit more into gray. It will never look like a gray. It has too much warmth in it for that. If you have a south-facing room or say western afternoon sunshine, which is lovely and warm, you're going to see it lean warmer a little bit more into the brown because it really is sitting in between gray and brown. Now, every paint color has undertones, and Mega Greige, in fact, the whole line of colors on the color strip are very tricky because they're not married to any particular undertone, which means they can flex. And the two undertones it can flex between are purple and green. Now, Mega Greige is slightly more inclined to favor purple, but it's by a fraction. Now, one of the best ways to see these shifts is to do some comparison. And I do have blog posts or color reviews on most of these, so if you see one you like, check it out. Pavestone. Now, Pavestone is more of a true greige because it's in between gray and beige, and it favors a legit green undertone. So greiges tend to favor a green undertone, taupes tend to favor a purple pink. So it's not that Mega Greige is named incorrectly, but I wouldn't say it's very green at all, especially when you compare it to a real true greige color. Now, let's look at functional gray. So functional gray is actually a warm gray, so it's really hugging that line. It will show us the degree of warmth in Mega Greige. And functional gray has a very legit purple undertone. Shows us how subtle those undertones are in there. So this would look a little bit more purple pink in comparison because it has more warmth to it, whereas this has that more legit purple look, a little bit cooler looking. Perfect Greige, super popular neutral. Again, similar LRV, a little bit lighter, a little bit more undertone in there. That's a pink purple undertone we've got in there, and it shows you how, yeah, Mega Greige has a bit of that too, just not quite as much. Now you might be looking at that thinking, oh, I thought Mega Greige would be more greige. I wanted something more greige. Well, that's because we looked at quite a few colors that were grayer than it. So I want to show you one warmer one, which is Tony Taupe. There, right? So now you can really see the beautiful balance between gray and beige in our Mega Greige. Now, on the color strip, you'll see a range of colors that go from incredible white, agreeable gray, a new gray, Mega Greige, keystone gray. I just want you to be careful because a lot of people say, oh, I love Mega Greige, I just want to go a bit lighter. The thing is, as you go up and down these strips, while you're getting the same bones or you're sharing a bit of the DNA, undertones can change, and as can the temperature. So a new gray, that sits above it. An agreeable gray sits above that. A new gray and agreeable gray are more standard depths if you were, say, to paint your entire home or you want something a bit lighter. Keystone gray is right underneath Mega Greige, and look what happened. We picked up so much more brown, right? So I just want you to be careful. If you're thinking, I want something lighter or darker, you do want to check first to make sure it has the undertones and the general vibe you're going for. And I do want to show you a few whites before we go, because you'll probably paint some white trim or cabinets, or you have some in place, you want to know if it works. If you have an overly creamy trim, if you have Dover white, it's going to be borderline, but I think you can do it. If you have antique white, heck no, super fugly. I don't mean antique white super fugly. I mean the combination would be too much yellow in it. The most yellow that I would humor with Mega Greige would be something like Sherwin Williams Alabaster. Totally doable. A little bit of yellow. It interacts a little bit funny with that subtle taupe in there, that little bit of purple pink. I'd much rather see you in pure white Still a soft white, so it's not stark. A little bit soft, a little bit of warmth. Or you can just clean it right up. Go to high reflective white, which really is sometimes the most simple approach. Nice and clean. So there you go. I do have hundreds of blog posts on my blog. These are DIY update ideas, color reviews, tons of fun stuff. I hope you'll find my Instagram feed, and thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel.